Olá pessoal, tudo bem com vocês? Aqui quem fala é o Dante, você está no canal The Vicious. E hoje, caras, vamos continuar a nossa série de Tales of Arise. Agora que ficamos sabendo um pouco mais sobre o passado do Alphen, né? Inclusive que ele já é um senhor de 300 anos de idade, certo? Por algum motivo, o soberano, pois ainda não entendemos muito bem esse título aí, que ele foi... Era tipo um experimento lá feito pelos renanos. E cá estamos, caras, nessa vila, depois dos acontecimentos lá com a Almeidria. A Shionne foi raptada por aquele Voldran, né? E agora vamos ver o que vai acontecer, caras. Queria pedir a vocês, humildemente, que deixem o seu gostei logo no início do vídeo, caras. Vamos bater 40 gosteis pelo menos. Se inscreva e ative o sininho. Dessa maneira você não vai perder nenhum conteúdo novo aqui do canal. Se você tem condições de se tornar um membro, assim como essa galera aqui, ó, que ajuda com o passar dos meses, agradeço de coração. E se é novo por aqui, seja muito bem-vindo à comunidade de quem gosta de um bom RPG, para quem gosta de uma boa história. Então, let's go, caras. Vambora. Agora eu tô fraco, né? Agora eu tô fraco. Sem a Shionne a gente não é nada. Nem correr a gente corre mais, cara. Então vambora. Tistilin é o nome da cidade. Tô triste. Aí, galerinha aí. É Tistilin, a minha cidadezinha. Eu tive que sobreviver à morte diversas vezes para chegar onde eu tô agora, tanto como escravo, como no meu caminho até aqui. Tudo que eu quero agora é poder viver em paz e sossego pelos restos dos meus dias. Então, por favor, não cause problemas. Aqui já tinha essa doença aí pra tu estar com essa máscara? Onde é que a gente tá? Tá, tô vendo um monte de árvore diferente, mas não conheço nenhuma. Será que um dia a gente consegue voltar pra Mahagassar? Bifinho! Bifinho! Pizza maluca! Ai, deve ter sido um naufrágio de grandes proporções. Tem aparecido várias coisas e até pessoas trazidas pela maré. É? Eu procurei o Mahavara em tudo quanto foi canto, mas não encontrei ele não. Mas que droga, por que ele tinha que ser o único a afundar com o navio?
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Danon, do you bear the same crest as the current Renan sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Danon for their sovereign in the first place? And then there is the Maiden, a figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I'd never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then? Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renan, born and raised. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renan. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes, we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.
Tá, vamos lá. Ele não tá correndo aí, tudo é mais lento. Pra nadar ele nada mais rápido. O sargo é bom, hein? Sargo é bom, hein? Sargo é bom, sargo é top. Sargo é top. Deixa eu falar com a menininha aqui. Mais gente aqui, vou falar com todo mundo aqui. Falar com ela aqui.
All this time, I thought it was the worrying about Shionne and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, you can see what I'm like. It's strange. When I think about Lenegus, it still feels like it was only a year or two ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist. I'd never have met up with you guys, that's for sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
Nuh-uh. I resent them a little less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, finding out you're the Sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Shionne, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Shionne were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Shionne must be lonely, all by herself wherever she is.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get going.
Falar agora com... Cadê o Lau?
What do you see out there?
Zeugles. Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here, and now they're looking pretty riled up. So, feel like you're making headway? You know, sorting through things?
All I know is Shionne needs our help. As for what happens after that...
Say, how did you get back down here from Lenegus, anyway?
I came down in a Renan starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dana and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the Maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Danans like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
Even within Renan society itself, there exists a hierarchy. I don't think she was ever given the option to refuse. Despite that, she did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up slaughtering. And even after that, she still helped me escape back to Dana. She stayed behind on Lenegis to help any of her people who survived. I owe her more than words can express. A debt left to fester for what? 300 years? How do I even begin to make up for something like that?
In all honesty, you don't. You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can. Be it several centuries ago, or just yesterday.
What are you saying? That I might as well give up?
I'm saying you don't have to be a white knight in shining armor. Back after my brother had passed away, it was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to give up too. You were there for both of us. You know what I heard? I heard you telling me to keep fighting, to strive no matter what.
And I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear at the time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't even be here had I not heard them. Left to my own devices, who knows when I would have been able to pick myself up. Besides, it's not like killing all those people was a choice that you made of your own free will, right? The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you. The ones who forced you to wield that power. They're the ones you should be blaming. Not only that, but that guilt you feel inside, that's all the proof you need to know you're a good person, Alphen. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you. But if you're still not convinced, then ask yourself this. What is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Go on, ask yourself.
What I've been fighting for, huh? What will I even accomplish going alone?
Certo, vamos procurar o... Um ovinho, eu não quero comer ovo. De onde eu saí. Mais coisa pra cá. A gente sobrevive principalmente da pesca e das poucas plantações na aldeia. Às vezes a gente caça e pega fruta na floresta, mas é bem arriscado. Então não dá pra ir lá o tanto que a gente queria. Acho que ele tá lá pra cima. Se você atravessar o bosque do Brilhoutono e depois passar pelas cataratas de Aureon, dá pra ver pela legião no horizonte. Mas eu tenho arrepio só de pensar em ver aquele castelo de novo. Então não é uma viagem que eu recomendaria não, hein. Após escapar da Pelegião, você tem que atravessar pantano, cachoeira e floresta antes de chegar até aqui. Depois só sobra o mar, não tem mais pra onde fugir. Se os renanos acharem a gente, encrenca na certa. Parece que tudo aqui tá amadurecendo bem saudável. Quando chegar a hora da colheita, vai estar uma delícia. Não pode pegar comida sem pedir. As plantações são um recurso vital que a gente tem que dividir com todo mundo aqui. Nunca conheci um daniano que não tenha fugido da Pelegião. Vocês não pretendem entregar a gente pros renanos, né? Só pra garantir. Por aqui. Vamos lá, continuando aqui. Parte mais de história, né? A aldeia foi fundada pelos sobreviventes que escaparam do regime Pelegião. Eles fugiram em busca de uma vida melhor, longe do jugo dos renanos, e acabaram se estabelecendo aqui. Há anos que não chegam novos desertores, não me lembro mais quanto tempo faz exatamente. Às vezes eu me pergunto o que teria acontecido pro fluxo de gente vindo pra cá ter parado. Se são forasteiros, nunca vi ninguém que não fosse desse reino. O vovô falou pra gente não falar com gente como você, porque você é malvado e dá medo. Um dos motivos que faz esse lugar ser perfeito para se esconder são as montanhas ao nosso redor. Elas protegem a gente do olhar dos renanos. Não tem mais nada aqui. Podemos seguir. Tistilim, vamos pra Tistilichinho. Vamos pra Tistilim, Tist. O Lau aí com seu óculos. Tá ali ele, brabíssimo. Achei a corujinha sem querer. O Alphen, tu é estiloso, hein, cara? Carambas. Vou fazer uma coisa que me pediram pra fazer. Eu não tô acostumado ainda a usar o olho direito.
Are we gonna go rescue Shionne or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kind of my forte.
Come on, man. Snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse still, you blame yourself for what happened. And yeah, I don't agree, but that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Shionne.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere, too? Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shionne?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Shionne's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place.
Law.
No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Shionne or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Listen, you're probably right about all this.
Alphen.
It's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Shionne. But there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alphen of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks. And thanks, Law.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alphen. I believe in you.
Back to the inn, I guess.
E vocês continuam estressados porque o Lau tá com óculos escuros, rapaz. Deixa ele com óculos escuros, rapaz. Eu vou tirar o tapa-olho só por questões... Como é que desequipa isso aqui? Remover. Só por questões de história, hein? Eu quero ver ele com aqueles esquemas nos olhos de novo. Mas vocês ficam cismando, deixam o coitado com o óculos escuro dele ali, pô. Tire o óculos.
There you are!
What is it?
Zoogles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
Any closer and they'll be house hunting. I knew we shouldn't have cut through their territory.
That sounds bad.
Can you fight? No shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go overdoing it.
I'm up for it.
Really?
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. It's now or never, right?
Alphen, right! Great to have you back! Now let's do this!
Incrível lutador desajeitado. Mais BA máximo. Pouco ponto.
Look sharp, people. If we don't act...
Tá, deixa eu arrumar aqui o grupo. Preciso de um curandeiro, né? Deixa eu usar o grupinho aqui.
Fast, they're going to get into the village.
Right. We need to hurry.
Eles têm fala nova de novo, cara. Dá pra entrar? Não, não dá opção pra mim entrar, pô, que eu vou entrar. Aqui não tem fala nova. Tamo em tistilim, tiste. Vamos lá. Vamos lá. Caramba.
Remember, if the pain's too much...
We've all got our own pain to deal with. I'm done letting others pick up my slack.
Here they come!
Putz.
We can't let even a single one through!
There's a firm no-Zuko policy.
Fine by me. Let's get to work then.
São uns Elgas fortes, hein?
I shall heal you where you stand.
Take this!
The enemy here's ours too.
You'll soon see about that.
Strong. It'll split it open.
Be my guest.
Tem vezes que ele tira 0, cara.
My turn.
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Quase um chefe esse bicho aí.
Severing wind! Devastation!
Shield and
Try harder! My turn!
Tá batendo bem de novo. Fica apanhando também. É uma beleza. Um já foi. Tome.
Can you take it?
Errou porque ele tinha morrido.
Devastation! Here I come! It's over!
Top demais, né? Essa música, né? Não me canso de ouvir essa música. E lá vai.
Destruction! Be still! Scourge! Hurricane thrust! Here I come!
Acerta nada, pô. Caramba, o bicho ainda bateu?
Alphen, you okay?
I'm fine. This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
It wouldn't be called pain if it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village, especially after everything they've done for us.
Yeah.
You know, Thistleum kind of reminds me of home. The people here have hidden themselves away out of the fear of being found, always watching their backs. Though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
That won't happen here.
Oh? Is that a hint of fighting spirit I sense?
Yeah. I won't lie. Some of these memories will take a while to process. But I've learned something too. My rage, this fury I feel at our so-called rulers, it comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then. Friends, family, home. They took everything from me, and left me with nothing but guilt. I was completely alone. At least that's what I thought. But not anymore. Since I awakened, I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something. And I won't lose that. Not ever again. I'll protect those bonds with everything I have. That's why I need to keep fighting.
But Shionne comes first.
Of course. First we rescue Shionne, then we defeat Volron, and liberate Dana. Everyone, will you fight with me?
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objections.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
We don't know what lies ahead. We should prepare well before we venture forth.
Yeah, can't exactly fight at the top of your game when you're hungry.
Good point. Let's stop by the inn and plan our next move from there.
Tem uma falinha.
How is Mahavar doing? Wait. Don't tell me we still haven't found him.
It's not like we haven't been looking. I've covered the whole length and breadth of the coast, but...
All of the other crew members are accounted for, including us. But we weren't able to find Mahavar. He's still missing.
I see.
Perhaps he couldn't bring himself to abandon the ship.
You mean at the bottom of the ocean? Damn it.
We don't know that it sank. We all washed up on the same shore. If the ship went down, isn't it strange we haven't come across a single piece of debris?
Do you think he might still be alive somewhere out there?
I think stranger things have happened. Whether he's alive or otherwise, we've exhausted all the avenues available to us. All we can do now is press on ahead.
Fine. Let's get going.
Tistilinho, vilarejo cutuchinho.
Thistleum was founded by Danans fleeing the tyranny of Renan lords, right? But when you first came, they must have known Dohalim was Renan. So why do you think they let us in?
They almost didn't. But it wasn't just Dohalim they were wary of. They didn't trust any of us.
Even the weird Danans just like them?
When you live life in constant fear of being pursued, it's only a matter of time before all outsiders start to seem a potential threat.
I suppose that makes sense. So how did you convince them to trust us?
You saw how destitute the village was. They needed food, badly. We hunted some Zeugles for them. That seemed to do the trick.
Of course, a little magic-assisted roast didn't hurt things.
Never underestimate a full stomach's ability to put a person at ease. It turns out a hearty meal can be a powerful weapon. Something's on your mind. You having second thoughts about rescuing Shionne?
Of course not. Shionne's our friend. Almeidrea was the one I hated. For as long as I can remember, she served as a symbol to me of everything Renin. But ever since getting to know Shionne, I realized it doesn't make sense to group people together like that. Every individual is different.
I see.
Besides, the situation with Almeidrea was something else entirely. I'd already decided I wasn't going to kill her, but when I saw her die right in front of me, a part of me thought it served her right, that she'd gotten what she deserved. But another part regretted that someone else had come along and killed her instead. Don't get me wrong. If I had the chance again, I still wouldn't kill her. But it's not like I'll be shedding any tears now that she's gone. It's all so confusing. I don't know how to make sense of any of it.
Who said it had to make sense?
Huh?
Rinwell, you've done nothing wrong. You've started to question the beliefs you've held all your life. It's only natural for you to feel disoriented. You didn't give in to the hatred you felt for Almeidrea. You made a choice not to kill her. And that's significant, whether you realize it or not. As for what it means exactly, that might be worth taking some time to figure out on your own.
Some time.
Or don't, if you don't want to. It's just an idea. I'm still searching too, remember?
No, I think you're right. It can't hurt to keep searching after all. And hey, thanks, Kisara.
Deu. Uma missãozinha aqui, ó.
Okay.
Vocês são bons de matar Zelg, né? Porque eu tô precisando de um favor. De fato, você parece estar em maus lençóis. Podia ter jurado que a gente já tinha eliminado todos os Zelgs que estavam a tentar entrar nessa aldeia. Ah, eliminaram sim. Esses Zelgs não estão tentando atacar a gente. Eles estão roubando os nossos peixes. Seus peixes. Tem uns Zelgos primatas com os braços enormes que batem na superfície da água com as duas mãos e criam essas ondas gigantes. Eles fazem isso para atordoar os peixes, o que faz eles boiarem para a superfície, daí é só pegar. Não sei como, mas eles aprenderam a fazer isso recentemente. São tão bons que a gente tá até passando fome. Parece que vocês estão com um problemão. Claro que estão, pô. Até parece que peixe dá em árvore. Esse tipo de pesca não é bom para nossas águas. Ah, então o ponto de discórdia é a maneira como pescam, não o fato de pescarem. Só vocês para dar um jeito de expulsar essa macacada doida daqui. E aí, vão ajudar a gente? Vamos ver o que a gente pode fazer. Claro, a gente vai dar cabo dessa rede de Zelgs pescadores de uma vez por todas. Eu não teria dito em melhores palavras, sendo uma pescadora, esse caso a deixou em polvorosa, como você pode ver. Pô, é muita bondade sua ajudar a gente, dona. Desculpa estar largando o problema no colo de vocês, mas a gente vai ficar muito agradecido. Inimigos de pesca. Temos uma missãozinha aí pra resolver.
I'll teach these small fry who's the apex predator of these waters. Just watch and see.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves now.
I guess we're having fish for dinner tonight.
Eles voltam a falar coisas diferentes. E eram os Zelgs fortes, cara. Não eram Zelg porcaria, não. São tudo escravo mesmo. Eles têm até as marquinhas. É só alguns aí que tem marca nova. Vou lá dormir soninho pra gente continuar, né, caras? Lixinho! Opa! Apareceu um bocado de coisa aqui, hein? Itens, vamos vender os itens aí que a gente tem aqui. Vende. Estamos em Tistilim. Nossa, isso aqui é uma coisa que eu não mexo nunca, hein? Estamos em Tistilim. Meu Deus, não apareceu mais arma ainda. Tem essa aqui agora. Espada longa Auron. Cria e equipa. Esse aqui eu não posso fazer ainda. Vou fazer um negócio aqui.
You guys...
Quer comprar. Aqui. Aí precisa de uma pra poder criar outra, entendeu? Deixa eu ver aqui. Vários tipos que a gente pode criar. Eu tenho até uns que eu tô usando, mas eu não posso aprimorar. Eu tenho que desequipar para poder melhorar. Vou descansar aqui. Vamos usar aquele lá que aumenta a experiência.
This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot.
13 minutos. Agora vamos meter o pé, rapaz. Meter socks na cara. E vambora. Tô com uma espadinha nova aí. Vamos pra Tistilixinho. E vamos continuar aqui a nossa saga. Ah, ficou de dia agora, pelo menos. Mesmo choninho. Esse jogo tem muito desse negócio de pop-in, né? Os caras aparecem do nada, assim, não dá pra ver eles à distância, né? Isso é uma maneira de economizar no... Opa! No desempenho gráfico do jogo, né? Economia. Vamos começar a aproveitar os inimigos. Vai parar aí, porcão. Ainda tira um daninho, mas não é a mesma coisa, né? Eu não vi o porcão vindo. Tchau, porcão. Ele é um porco. E você pode ser também. Ui! Tem dois caminhos aqui, hein? Cristal farpado. Tem uns pontos de pesca ali, hein? Estamos em Tistilinxinho. Acabar com esses porcão aí. Quer dizer, macacão. Eles são rápidos, mas a gente dá um jeito neles. Porradão. Caramba. Dale.
We can really make weapons with this?
Tem um ponto de pesca aqui, ó. Atravessando a selva.
It feels like I'm melting.
Calaglia was pretty hot, but at least the air there was dry. Out here, it feels like I'm trying to walk through thick soup.
I can hardly breathe, it's so stuffy. And don't get me started on the insects. You hanging in there, Hoodle?
It's brutal, all right. I can feel my energy being drained away just by walking. All this vegetation makes it hard to keep an eye out. Keep your wits about you, everyone. And watch you don't keel over while you're at it.
What's needed at times like these is a relaxing hot spring. That would soon help us adjust.
And where do you expect us to find one of those?
What about you, Alphen? All that gear, and you hardly seem to be breaking a sweat.
Yeah, I guess when you've lived a life devoid of pain for as long as I have, even feeling hot and bothered can be a welcome change.
Well, lucky you, I guess. Just don't expect us to carry you when you pass out.
Vamos tentar aqui pescar. Que tipo de pesca nós temos aqui? Piranha de Ganat Harrows.
There's a nice breeze here.
Piranha de... Eita lasqueira, hein? Tá fazendo de sacanagem, hein? Tá fazendo de sacanagem ela. Triângulo e X. Vamos pegar a piranha. Pelo desenho parece ser uma piranha, né? Tá de boa. O peixinho não é tão forte assim. Ah, errei. Errar não vai te ajudar, meu querido. Não, meu querido. Era só voar que pegava o peixe na hora. Com essas asas aí de anjo que eu botei, né? Aí a piranha.
You take your fishing pretty serious.
Piranha de Ganat Harrows. Piranha. Agora precisamos bagre de Ganat Harrows. Ó, bagre tricolor. X e quadrado. X quadrado.
There we go.
Não sei que peixe é esse, mas vamos lá. R2. Vambora. Vem aqui, peixinho. Vem aqui, peixinho. Vem aqui, peixinho. Cá dentro. R2. Pra lá. Peixinho não é nada contra mim. Acabou esse peixão. Tem que ser o bagrinho, hein? Bagrinho, bagrinho. Manda pra nós. Bagrinho.
Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
Bagre tricolor. É. Bagre de Ganat Harrows. Ih, pior que os dois são X quadrado. X quadrado.
Now where might those fish be? Yeah.
X quadrado. X.
All right.
Eu acho que é o mesmo. É o tricolor de novo. Você parece mais fortinho, hein? Olha lá. Mostra toda a sua malevolência.
She's got a good size to her, all told.
É o bagre tricolor lá. É a braga tricolor, rapaz. X e triângulo, Lúcio verde. Agora, o que a gente vai usar pra... Ah, Lúcio etidérvula. X e triângulo.
Where should I cast my line? Yeah.
X, triângulo. X.
All right.
Vai lá. Eu acho que não é, né? Mas tudo bem. Vamos lá. Peguei, eu acho que é o bagre tricolor de novo. Bagre de São Paulo aí.
She's got a good size to her, all told.
É maior.
Leper was a true fighter.
There we go.
Usei só triângulo, acho que é a piranha de novo. Vai lá, pegar essa piranha aí, vamos. Vai. Vamos. Peguei. Ah, a piranhazinha de novo.
Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
Dá pra ver pelo desenho dela. Tá bom de pesca por enquanto. Pescamos um pouquinho aí, agora a gente vai meter o pé.
Man, this place is thick with foliage.
I know. It feels like we're going to be swallowed up by all these plants if we stay in here.
Indeed. I much prefer the forests in Menencia myself.
Not that I...
Vamos nós.
In a vine?
Me recupere aí, preciso me recupere.
Benediction light.
If they rush you,
pick the
go
wrong
for
fight.
cover, okay? Tiger blade.
Destruction! Shockwave flash!
Down the wind!
Mirage!
On your knees.
Burn up! This one keeps charging us! I'm
That's
ready!
what my shield's for.
It's over!
Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Lion Power!
Lunarongo! Here I come!
Time to shine.
Air pressure! Severing wind!
With the earth.
This one's mine.
Recupera.
Tiger blade.
Dá-lhe porradão.
Through armor.
Lightning orb. More with that.
Shockwave flash! It's on! Mirage! Eat dirt!
Catapult.
Here's the dance in the wind.
Destruction! Wind!
Make it rain. Take
Mirage!
Light extra light.
Shockwave flash! Not a chance! Shockwave flash!
Já era.
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat.
Limãozinho. Esse lado aqui, o que que tem? Aqui é o outro lado que a gente não olhou. Tem os porcão.
Go no further.
Take this!
Take this.
Take this! Wind!
Catapult.
Mirage!
On guard.
Shockwave flash!
Raging storm.
Elusive deity.
My blood in your dreams.
I'll face you. Take this.
Nothing gets by me.
Lunarongo! It's over! This one's all mine!
Denied.
Destruction! In an instant! Impact block!
Cacildes.
Resonate with the earth.
Still on. Soon shine and come over.
Saving
I'll stop its charge.
You
Thanks,
picked the
Kisara.
wrong fight!
Air pressure.
Shockwave flash!
Take this.
I'm ready!
Tiger blade.
É. Galerinha voltou a ser apelonça de novo.
Everyone hanging in there?
Um douradão ali, tem um shiny. Pegar a Pokébola e se preparem.
Hey, look at that enemy. It's shiny.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Look sharp. Armor won't save you.
That's it.
Benediction light.
Destruction! Soaring out!
I'm here. I'll be be saving this one.
Now or never. Sword Rain out! No further.
A chifrada foi bem nas costas mesmo, hein?
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Molotov.
Pelona pra caramba.
Elusive deity. You're mine. Your benediction light. You pick
Vai pra trás, meu filho.
shattering the tiger blade.
Now!
Take this.
Tiger blade. Lion Howl. Heal. Appreciate the help.
I'm not done.
Going in. Take that. Tiger blade.
Shockwave flash. I'm ready.
Já era.
I can feel my power growing.
Aí, nível 31. Aqui vai pra Tistilin. Tá, vamos lá. Caminho aqui escondidinho.
That's far enough.
Here I come.
Now you see what I can do.
Breaking sword!
Piercing
Take
roar.
this.
Shockwave flash.
Nossa, sai fora, porcão chato do caramba, rapaz.
Shockwave flash.
Nossa, porco chato, cara.
Shockwave flash. Severing wind.
Tiger blade.
Lunar rumble.
Agora eu vou ficar aqui voando o tempo inteiro com ele. Eu posso usar a habilidade infinita.
You're on. You picked the wrong fight.
Acabou a minha vantagem de ficar que nem loucão.
Shockwave flash.
Vem cá.
Eagle ray. Sword Rain alpha. Dragon form.
Acabou a minha... Acabou.
I'll smash you.
Switch to offense.
Here I come.
Piercing roar.
Sword Rain
Make
alpha.
it rain.
You're on.
Just when I'll be saving this
Só tem do Hallen pra curar agora.
Looks like we won.
Ó. Ah, minha vantagem de nível vai pro saco. 4.000. Se pegar uma batalha rápido. Ah, lá foi a minha vantagem. Droga. Aí, o macacão aí, ó.
We were told to dispatch.
Droga.
No choice. You're mine.
Dá um fim nesses pés rápidos deles aí.
cascade! In here!
Look sharp.
It's on. You're finished.
Crescent Moon! I can do this all day!
Tiger blade.
Shockwave flash.
Time to shine.
Dance in the wind!
Shockwave flash.
Air thrust confiscated!
Elusive deity. Shockwave flash.
Rotating pile driver.
Now!
Deity.
Lunar
Ready and raring.
Air thrust!
Time to make a
Raging
Death on the wind.
Field! I'll be
Look
saving
sharp.
this one!
I'll smash you. I'll thank you.
Take this.
Make it rain.
Shockwave flash.
Caramba, agora voltou a ser o que era, né? Carambas.
I feel sprightlier than before.
31. Daqui a pouco a gente vai enfrentar aquele louva-a-Deus doido lá. Tem muito caminho, tem que ficar esperto aqui. Outro se perde aqui legal, cara. Vou aqui pra esquerda, o que tem aqui? Não tem nada, mas eu vou vir pra cá. Tem um acampamento pra cá. Ho, ho.
Take this.
I'm not.
Photon,
You're mine.
lightning condemned!
It's
Switch to
on.
offense!
Shockwave flash. You picked the wrong fight.
Elusive deity.
Nossa, ele fica muito fraco sem o...
Shockwave flash.
Light astral energy dance in the wind!
This one's mine.
Totally.
Vamos dar um fim nesse cara aí.
Impact block.
Photon blast! Lightning condemned!
Everlasting dark. Negative gate.
Destruction. Wind. Lunar Rongo.
Não vai não.
Benediction light.
You're mine! Win!
Raging storm! I can carve through armor!
Puddle! Light astral
Lunar rocket!
energy!
I'll grind you into try harder! You picked the wrong fight!
Ah,
Here, let me help.
On your
Crush!
Make it rain!
Shockwave flash! You're mine!
a habilidade é boa pra caramba essa aí, que ele vai de lado, assim.
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Vocês vê, as coisas ficam do ladinho, às vezes tu passa batido e não vê, cara.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Tudo bem, deixa eu só ver o que tem pra cá primeiro. Ponto de viagem rápido. Rocha termal, pedra que retém calor mesmo coberta de gelo, muito útil em noites longas e frias nas regiões mais gélidas de todas. Nossa, um monte de coisa, hein? Mais nada pra cá, aqui é só... Vai ter alguma utilidade futuramente essa área aqui. Pode ter certeza que essa área no futuro vai ter alguma utilidade. Rancho ampliado. Ovelha. Cavalo. Porco. Vaquinha. Vaquinha! Descansar aqui. Dormichoninho.
Better get everything ready for tomorrow.
Não precisa cozinhar. Ringwell.
Mind if we chat a little?
You're still awake?
I've always been something of a night owl. Ever since back when I was someone's property. Turning in for the night only made the next day come quicker. I wasn't in any great rush.
Sorry.
What about yourself? Care to share something from before I knew you? You were part of a mage clan, right? Must have been handy being able to rely on magic for everything.
Hardly. In fact, not at all. Magic's not so special when you're not allowed to use it. Always scared of who might be watching?
Right. Sorry about that. I guess I've read too many fairy tales.
We were still made to study it every day. It doesn't make any sense if you think about it, studying the very thing you're being persecuted for. But that's what we did, just like our parents and their parents before them. Honestly, I don't even know how far back it goes.
If memory serves, mages have been the stuff of legend for ages. Even as far back as 3 centuries ago, they were myths. Your people were persecuted even before the Renans got here.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the less it makes sense though. I mean, it was astral arts that let the Renans dominate Dana, right? Why didn't mages end up being the rulers of Dana then?
Maybe they tried, but they just didn't have the numbers. Or maybe domination just wasn't something they were interested in. Have you ever considered it might have been something like that?
I guess I haven't.
I wonder why magic alone attracted the attention it did. Swords can be just as lethal in the right hands. Why not ban them?
My best guess? Swordsmanship can be learned by anyone. Magic's more of an exclusive club.
So, you either have the gift or you don't. When something's not easily obtainable, it's hard to comprehend. People are scared of what they don't understand. And fear leads to persecution. So the problem's not magic. It could just as easily have been anything.
Yeah.
Beleza.
Poodle, let me know if you sense anything.
Mas a gente perde o efeito do que a gente tava usando ali, no caso. Não, não perdeu não. Cara, então eu vou fazer o seguinte, nós vamos terminar esse episódio por aqui. nosso querido Alphen voltou à ativa e está de volta, nosso querido guerreiro e herói. Então, cara, espero que vocês tenham curtido. Se curtiu aí, deixa o gostinho, se inscreva, ative o sininho. Fica ligado aí que eu sempre trago novidades no canal. Valeu e até o próximo episódio de Tales of Arise. Falou!